Yo, yes sir, man. We live and we back. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. And y'all know why I'm here, man. I'm here today to bring y'all another edition of my starting five for DraftKings and FanDuel, alright? We're gonna get right into those picks for y'all, but before we do, y'all already know. If you don't know, this is the lineup review portion of the show, man. Going over one of my lineups with the yesterday's starting five that I would have posted on Twitter or on YouTube if you came back and checked the video. So while we doing that, y'all please hit the subscribe button and definitely hit that like button, man. We need more likes. Come on, help your boy out, man. We trying to grow the channel. Hit the likes for your boy. Also turn the notification bell on so you can be here rocking with us every day when a video drops. All right, let's get into it, man. Last night, solid night for us. We pretty much cashed across the board in DK. Nothing crazy. Just a few shillings here and there. Made a little bit of money. Got my lineup pulled up for y'all. This is the $12 single entry. This is not my best lineup with the starting five. But I just wanted to talk through this because it's the single entry. I like talking about the single entry and strategy and stuff like that. I think my best lineup with the starting five gave us 320. I had Giannis in that one, of course, but this is the $12 single entry. Came in 300 some place, $125 here. Put up 302 right at 303 right here. If you caught my starting five yesterday, I went with Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, OG Anunoby, Al Horford, and Ibaka Zubac. All right. Now let's start at the top. Russell Westbrook. It was just a no-brainer, man. No LeBron. He was a lock for me. I liked him over AD because I didn't trust AD with the knee. AD and them injuries, man, they kind of iffy. So whenever he got something bothering him or whatever, I just leave him alone. I didn't play any Anthony Davis yesterday. Kind of worked out in my favor as he didn't do too much. But knew Russell Westbrook would be chalky. He came in right at 61% in this contest, but gave you right at 60 DK points, man. Another triple double from Russ. Russ just doing Russ things, all right. Just a very solid play, nothing to think about there. Coming in as shooting guard, I just went back to Malik Monk. Needed some value for what I was trying to do yesterday. Thought Malik Monk fit the bill at 3,700. Figured he should see big minutes. We know he's a scorer. We know he's scoring dependent. So if the shot's not really falling, he's not really going to give you a big game. Gave us a solid effort though at 3,700. 19 DK points, still pretty much 6x over here, but you really need like 9-10x from your cheap guys to really take something down. But very solid. We knew he'll be chalky as well. So like I said, he right at 68% on, very chalky for Malik Monk. Coming in at small forward, this is where we started to try to get different with our lineups, all right? I knew yesterday, once that LeBron news came out, it was going to be a lot of Westbrook and Giannis bills. I knew that from the jump, and if you did that, it worked out in your favor. As Westbrook solid game, Giannis was the highest scorer on the slate. Nothing, not that I didn't like Giannis or whatever. I just knew that combination of Westbrook and Giannis was going to be highly owned. So I wanted to try to do something different and get different in a few spots. So in my shooting guard, I was looking to go to the mid range. We identified OG Anunoby, big minutes, does a little bit of everything. He's been trying to score more this year. We got him at 13% on. He gave us a nice return, man. Right at 47 DK points, man. Beautiful ownership, beautiful output from OG Anunoby. Definitely moved us up the payouts. All right. If that's even how that go. But that's neither here nor there. Power forward, man. Al Horford, 5,800. Once he was locked in, we knew Al Horford has been playing very solid this year, man. You just look at his game log. He's pretty much a double-double every game he's played this year. So at 5,800, I feel like he would go overlooked beautifully. We got him at 11% on. Beautiful ownership right there. Very solid effort from Al Horford. 42 DK points, man. Nice double-double from him. Definitely take that right there. And then coming in at my center spot, Ibaka Zubac let me down, man. Coming into the last game, if Ibaka had a big night, man, we could have had a good night cashing. But I'm not too upset at it, man. Got him at a great ownership right here, right at 9%. I knew nobody was going to really go to Zubac, so I wanted to go there. I figured he could approach 30 minutes, especially with Cleveland being so big in the front court, man. They got like 3 7-footers down there. I just knew he'd approach 30 minutes, but he did not. That would hinder them here. He gave us right at 20 DK points. It's okay for 4,800, didn't kill us, but he only played 24 minutes, so that hurt his production right there. I thought he could see 28 to 32 anywhere in that range. That's what I was thinking going into it. Didn't quite work out that way, so we didn't get the return we wanted. But still okay at 4,800. That's not gonna kill you right there. And coming in the rest of my lineup, just wanted to go Damian Lillard, man. I knew you was gonna need another superstar. It definitely was a stars and scrubs night. Like I said, I knew it was gonna be big Westbrook Giannis, so I didn't want to go Giannis and be that chalky. So I went Damian Lillard, got him at 5% on. And it's the blowout again. Hurt us, man. He finally started to find his shot. He started to get it going, man. He had 43 DK points and didn't get any closing run as they had this game in the bag, man. I think they pulled out all the starters with like 6 minutes to go in the fourth. So no closing run from Dame. He probably could have gave us 50 plus if this had been a more closely contested game, but still solid from him at 43. I'll take it. Coming in the other forwards, I went Nasir Little. He was my pivot from Batum. Batum was drawing some ownership, and since I already had Zubac, I figured, hey, if Zubac's having a big game, that'll take away from Batum. So I didn't really want to go to Batum, so I went Nasir Little. He came in at 20% on in that Portland-Memphis game. I thought it was one of the best fantasy environments on the slate yesterday, so just wanted to get another piece of that. Nasir Little gave us 19 DK points, just okay, little over 6x for 3,900, not bad, but definitely needed more from him. And then coming in at my utility, I went DeAndre Ayton, man. Yes, DeAndre Ayton was my pivot from the guys like Plumlee, Bamba. All the ownership going to those middling centers right there. We identified Aiden late on in the afternoon, especially in this matchup against the Sacramento Kings, which is an up-paced matchup from them. They have a smallish front court with Rashawn Holmes starting at center, so I felt like Aiden could really dominate on the glass down there. And plus, he wants more money, so he's been having issue with his contract. So, and once I heard Chris Paul tell him, "Well, hey, you know what you got to do," I figured he would come out a little more inspired to perform. So, that's stuff you can't quantify in the numbers, man. But that was just a gut feeling, and it worked out, man. As he had a big double for us, 21 points, 21 boards, got him at 3% on. He definitely was the reason we moved up the cash line here. 54 DK points, man. Nice effort from Aiden. Got him at very, very low ownership. He almost made the core. I didn't put him in there. My bad, y'all. But I got heavy on Aiden towards the end of the day, man. My fault, man. If we had to put him in the core, we'd definitely had a much better day. But there you have it, man. 302, like I said, cash in the $12 singing. Pretty much cash across the board. Solid evening for us, but we don't dwell on the past, man. It's Thursday. It's a new day. Let's get to it. Let's see if we can't bring home a first place finish, all right? Coming in on DraftKings. Small 6-game slate, man. It's going to be tough to find value right now. Waiting on the news and shit. Very few pay up options tomorrow. So we'll see how the news goes. But starting at the point guard, the person I want to look at is Mike Conley. I'm looking at Mike Conley for a couple of reasons here. One, I know Kemba Walker's going to draw a lot of ownership down there at 5,400. People are going to want to get to Luka tomorrow, and you should. It's a small game slate. He definitely easily could be the highest scorer by a wide margin, especially with no Porzingis. And I think people are going to try to get value with Kemba Walker, seeing as he came out of his slump last game at 5,400. So I'm looking early to pivot from that Kemba Walker ownership. And the guy I'm looking at is Mike Conley. The Utah Jazz going against the Houston Rockets. All right. Now, you don't want to try to predict blowouts, but Utah is big favorites. Everybody knows Houston ain't good. Utah's a good, solid team. So anticipating this being a blowout. We don't really want to predict it, but we think it's a good chance. So I'm gonna let y'all in on a little tidbit, man. Whenever you think a game is gonna be a blowout, look to the role players in that game. All right, that's what I like to do. If I think a game is going to be a blowout, I look to the role players because 9 times out of 10, that's the only way it blows out. You know what I mean? If the superstar is the only one going off, it's probably a closely contested game. Blowouts is when you get the blowouts from the superstars doing what they do, but also role players around them having good games, shooting well. So in games I think they're going to be blowouts, I like to look to the role players. And since I think this one's going to be a blowout, I want to look at Mike Connolly here. He's been seeing 30 minutes. Haven't really had a big game this year. He's been just pretty solid across the board. But I think he's an interesting pivot from Kemba Walker. And probably a much better fantasy environment than Kemba as well, man. There's this Houston team, like I said, lack of defense. I think Mike Conley could fly under the radar tomorrow, and I definitely want to take a chance on him, especially at possibly at a really low ownership. All right, coming in as shooting guard, it's a perfect time to go back to Melton, man. He let everybody down last night, man. Did not have a good performance, but he literally went over. He was like 0 for 8 from the field, like 0 for 5 from behind the arc. He gave you 0 real life points yesterday, man. I don't think he does that again, man. So I want to go right back to Melton. Hopefully the people are off of him. He's still seeing 30 plus minutes, man. He's still heavily involved. This is probably the best fantasy environment on the slate tomorrow, this Memphis Golden State game. I definitely want to get back to DeAnthony Melton at 5,100. Not scared of that price tag on him. Hopefully the people off of him, I can get him at a little lower ownership. Coming in at small forward, the crown jewel. Just play Luka tomorrow, man. Especially if Porzingis is out. Just figure out how to get different somewhere else, man. Trust me. Going against the San Antonio Spurs, Luka's he's 11K tomorrow, but there's no one in the realm of his type of ceiling tomorrow. So just Steph Curry quite possibly, but that's a stretch, man. He can absolutely destroy this slate tomorrow, man. Get you some Luka, just get different somewhere else. All right, get Luka down to the small four. I don't need to say much else about that. It's Luka, man. Y'all know I really don't like giving superstars in my starting five. If you knew, I know we got a lot of new subscribers. One thing about me, when I give my starting five, I try to avoid the superstars, the Lukas, the Giannis, because those guys are in play every slate, man. So you don't need me to tell you to play those guys. That's why you never really see them in my starting five. But just a 6-game slate. It's hard to help it, man. I got to go Luka here. Coming in at power forward, I want to go Kelly Olynyk if Jeremy Grant is out. If Jeremy Grant is out, I want to roll out Kelly Olynyk. So we got to definitely keep an eye out for that news. But Olynyk's a very solid fantasy producer. He saw 30 minutes last time, gave you a nice return, man. At 5,800, if he's in the starting lineup again, no Jeremy Grant, I have no problem rolling him back out there. He's going to go on some little ownership, but he's a good enough play that it doesn't matter what his ownership is. If he's starting tomorrow, definitely get you some Kelly Olynyk, all right? And coming in at the center spot, my boy, Clint Capela going against the Washington Wizards. This is my second favorite fantasy environment behind the Grizzlies Warriors game. Clint Capela's minutes are slowly ramping up. We saw him get 29 minutes last night. Hopefully he can approach over 30. I'm a little nervous because I don't know if they're going to take him back down because it's the second night of a back-to-back. We will see. But hopefully he can get his full. That's the only thing making me nervous. So it may change, but I might roll the dice anyway, anticipating him getting over 30 minutes. He can absolutely crush the Washington Wizards. This matchup, fast, up-paced game. Gafford, Montrez, neither one of them are big enough for Clint Capela. He can have a big double-double, man. I'm just nervous about his minutes, but I think he should get 30 minutes in this matchup. And if he does, he can crush this 6,900 price tag. Big double-double upside for Clint Capela going against the Washington Wizards, all right? There you have it, man. My starting five for DraftKings: Mike Conley, DeAnthony Melton, Luka Doncic, Kelly Olynyk, and Clint Capela. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pool. Let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I liking over there. Hey, man, if you made it this far and you haven't hit the like button, what are you waiting on? Come on, man. Let's do it. You're obviously liking what you're hearing so far. All right, hopefully you are. But FanDuel. Now, over here at the top point guard, you'll see I roll a little Kimba out. 5,200 is a price difference over here. You know what I'm saying? Mike Conley is what, 62, 63 over here. So it's a little bit of a price difference. But like I said, going Kimba over here is going to allow me access to some Kimba Walker just on a different site versus me fading him on DraftKings. But definitely want to take a look at Kimba at this 5,200. Like I just told y'all on the other side, he broke out of his slump last game. Finally saw some shots start to fall. So hopefully he can continue that here against the Bulls. Lonzo is a tough on-ball defender, so he's gonna have a little tougher matchup here. But at 5,200, I think just the cheapness of him and the time he should get might equate to balance out against that tough matchup. Definitely want to take a look at Kemba Walker. Come in at shooting guard. Just same thing on FanDuel, man. Just play Luka. Just play Luka. You putting yourself behind the 8 ball. You don't play Luka tomorrow, all right? Enough said about that one. Coming in at small forward, want to look at Kyle Kuzma, 6,200. You know it's a mixed bag with Kyle Kuzma. You really hope that shot is falling. It's hard to tell, but he's been very solid rebounding the ball this year. So I like him at 6,200. I think he may be a little too cheap for his role over here. Not his production, because his production is not that great, but just his role over here and the potential. He can give you a 40-plus point performance right here. I definitely want to take a shot on Kyle Kuzma at 1,600 going against the Hawks, all right? Coming in at power forward on FanDuel. I want to look at Tobias Harris. This is another game anticipated to be a blowout. I don't fully trust Embiid, man. If it does blow out, I can tell you right now, Embiid's going to be the first minutes to get cut. He's nagging injuries already. I just don't trust Embiid. And if Philly is predicted to win, I think it comes from Tobias Harris. You may can see a big performance from Tobias. He hasn't given you a 50-plus this year, but he's been solid 40s and in that range. At 7,600, I think Tobias Harris is a nice play tomorrow on FanDuel. And rounding it out at center, want to go Kelly Olynyk. Just taking the salary savings. Listen, as Jeremy Grant plays tomorrow, I'm going right to Clint Capela on FanDuel as well. I like Clint Capela on both sides at my son, all right? Just looking for a little value over here right now with Kelly Olynyk. Anticipating Jeremy Grant still being out. We'll have to wait and see, all right? But definitely get you some Olynyk. All right, there you have it. My starting 5 on FanDuel: Kemba Walker, Luka Doncic, Kyle Kuzma, Tobias Harris, and Kelly Olynyk. All right, get you some exposure to these guys, man. Get them in your player pool. You know I'm gonna have them in mind, man. That's gonna do it for us here today. Y'all know the motto, man. Chances make champions. Y'all green up, man. I see y'all tomorrow. All right, let's go.